Good morning, everyone. Well, I guess depending where you are in this beautiful world of ours. Hello, hello. This is where Instagram now alerts everybody that I am going live. Hey, Karen Pontzler Thomas. I try not to butcher people's names, but I don't always succeed. Well, good morning or hello, Karen, depending on where you are in this world. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So today I wanted to talk about follow through, the importance of follow through, because I'm not sure that everybody understands or realizes. It took me a minute too, that follow through, a level of truth of follow through is integrity. And integrity is a really big value. Hey, Sonam, good morning. Well, for you, good evening. You're in India. When we talk about, hello, good morning. FTP, Finding the Paranormal joined. Good morning. Hello, hello. When we talk about values, values are not something that are out there, far away from us. Values are about who we are as humans. And from a spiritual perspective, values are a blueprint. If we know what we value and we know what our values are, it becomes a blueprint or a roadmap for living our life. And when you know your values and you have this roadmap and you step onto that path and you start walking, that is when the magic starts to appear, because you're in alignment, you're in your authenticity, right? And authenticity is another value, actually. But for the sake of this conversation, we're just going to call it, or we're going to equate it with alignment for just right now. So if you know your values and you make choices and decisions from that place. So for example, if we're talking integrity, right? And a level of integrity is follow through. That means you're going to be a very trustworthy and reliable and dependable person to someone else, because you are saying what you mean and meaning what you say. And you're doing what you say you're going to do. So your action and your words match. Yes? So yesterday in the morning we started to talk about, until someone came in with a question and then more questions, and then I'm always happy to answer questions. But until someone came in and started talking about that, I started talking about showing up, right? Showing up is a level of truth of integrity, right? So if one of your values is integrity, what are all the different levels of truth of integrity? There are many. And I'm not saying that we're going to be completely living out each one at every moment, because there's different facets. That means there's going to be different circumstances in which we apply those levels, right? But showing up is a level of integrity for yourself if you are saying that you're going to do something, right? So you're following through by showing up. So what are some areas in your life where you can improve your integrity? We all have them. There's no shame in the game. Okay, I've got them. There are many areas I can improve. There are many areas that you can improve. But part of this process of being spiritual, and I want everybody to understand, spirituality is not just learning how to read tarot cards. It's not just having crystals. It's not just learning Reiki or getting Reiki or going to shamans. That's not just what spirituality is. Spirituality is living a life of your values with the intention of helping others, showing compassion and kindness. Hey, Jenfrey, right? So if integrity is one of your values, which is one of my values, my main values are freedom, joy, and security. I do my best. I'm not perfect, but I do my best to make choices and decisions from those values so that I could live out the roadmap of what is in best alignment for me. When you live your life through integrity, I was just bringing up integrity. When you live your life through integrity, that means you're going to show up in the world in a certain or particular way in different circumstances. But the point is that you keep your word and you keep your follow through to whatever your word is, right? So spirituality is actually living a life of ... right? Through your values. Now, that is also how you become a different version of yourself. So that's also a way of timeline jumping. So everybody's talking about timeline jumping. I want to jump to this timeline. I want da. The best way, the easiest way to jump timelines into a time and space that you want to create or want to manifest is by living through your values. Again, that is your path. That is the authentic alignment. Magic happens when there's authentic alignment, right? So if you're unhappy in your life, maybe you're not living your life through your values. That's just something to consider. Put that on like a coat. You don't like it, take it off. That's fine. Okay? But that's just something to consider. So if you haven't given any thought to what your values are, that's okay. You're not a bad person, but it just might be time to consider, what are my values? And then what are the different levels of truth of those values, of how I can live them out? Make choices and decisions from that value. You're going to be in alignment. You'll be in your authenticity because you're like, okay, my value is freedom, right? That's my number one value, is freedom, right? So I'm going to do as much as I can in my life through the lens of freedom. So just think about it. What are some ways you can improve in areas of your life? Sonam is saying, feels like being authentic and living authenticity is very important to me as I have forgotten it over the social process. Yeah, so it sounds like authenticity is a big value of yours. Yes, authenticity is a value. Yes, that's what I was just going to get to. Right? So if authenticity is one of your values, and you're not happy in areas of your life, it may be in certain areas of your life, or in those areas you're not being authentic. So you're out of alignment, right? So again, no shame in the game. We're humans. Humans always go off path, right? And spirituality means getting back on the path. That's it, over and over and over again. Because the earth suit, the human, acts as a filter for our true divine nature, for who we really are, right? So we just got to get back on. That's okay. Just get back on. You get off, fine. You fell off, fine. You stepped off, fine. Get back on. That's all. Get back on. Just keep getting back on. So if you have discovered, for example, Sonam, that your value is authenticity, to be able to have the life that you want, you have to take steps. You have to make decisions, make choices from that value. That gets you back on the path, and then you become more aligned. and you'll find that those areas of your life improve. So it's how are you going to show up, right? Which is a level of integrity. Are you going to do what you say you're going to do? Are you going to follow through what you say you're going to do? And I am not telling you anything that I don't not have experience with, and also don't not mess up with and have to go back and step back on the path too. I am not exempt of this. I am also wearing an earth suit. I just understand maybe a little bit more through my studies and practices that your values are what bring you back into alignment with your true divine nature and who you really are. Who are you? You are a spiritual being of divine intelligence, love, and power to control your thoughts, to control your feelings, to control the movements of your body and your reactions and responses, because that's who we really are, right? So there is no shame in the game if you fall off or step off the path. You just get back on. That's the human path. And your human helps your soul evolve. They work together as a team. So you're humaning perfectly when you step off or you fall off and then you get back on. That is part of the human experience, and that is where the evolution of the soul happens, right? So I'm just here to remind you of who you are, but also to remind you that your human can use a little work, right? I can help you through that process, right? Because that's what I do. I help really highly sensitive folks who have tendencies to get quickly overwhelmed or anxious. And I help them discover their inner authority so that they can trust it. And ultimately that optimizes their energy and their emotions. So that's what I do. That's how I help people. So just get back on the path. Get back on the path by knowing and understanding what your values are, and start living your life, making choices and decisions from those values as best as you can, because you're not going to be perfect. You're going to mess up, and then you'll just have to start all over again. That's it. Big deal. Okay, fine. In that process, you become wiser. What's wisdom? Knowledge and experience. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So guess what? You become super wise. Then, because I know who you are, you also want to help people. Then you are able to help other people. And I know every person who's watching this in this now moment, whenever you're watching this, even in a replay, it's a this now moment. This moment, you want to help other people. Guess what? You're able and capable of helping other people when you're in alignment and you're living your life. You're following your roadmap of your own personal humanity. You are so able to help other people find theirs. It is that simple. It's very simple. It's harder to do follow through, which means it's hard to have integrity. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to BS you. I'm always very honest and blunt. Sometimes people don't like it, but too bad, so sad. Right? So my prayer for you, and my prayer for myself too, is just to keep getting back on that path, for us to have a clear understanding and knowing of what our values are, so that we can live that roadmap as best as possible, which will help our suffering ease. Right? We can totally do this. Totally do this. I've got a book that I wrote called Overcome Overthinking: 9 Steps for Indecisive Individuals to Reclaim Emotional Mastery, Gain Intuitive Clarity, and Access Your Inner Power to Make Confident Life Decisions. You should get this book. It's $9.99 on Amazon. If you want to buy it directly from me, it's $14.99. You can go ahead, DM me, because I'm still working out the page on my website so that you can buy it directly. But this book is a great guide. It's a great step-by-step guide. And it's really going to help you. It really will help you. So if you find yourself that you're an overthinker, it could be, I'm just saying, it could be because you're out of alignment and maybe you're not living your value system. So guess what? You get back into it, right? Sonam is saying Terry is magical and embodies what she teaches. So blessed to be in her world. That was so kind, Sonam. Thank you. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I do my best. I'm not perfect. Hey, Eureka. I'm not perfect. So I do my best. I also fall off and step off. And there's a difference between fall off and step off. So I too have the human experience. So I just want you guys to know that nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not a bad person. You shouldn't feel guilt or shame if you're off or out of your values right now. Just step back on. It's called course correcting, right? When an airplane is flying in the air, it's not a straight line. Sometimes there are other planes nearby, right? So control center goes, okay, there's a plane. You got to go around it. Okay, so now you're going around it and then you get back on, right? Course correct. It happens like a gazillion, bazillion times during one flight. So you just course correct. That's it. We don't have to make a big deal about it. We don't have to inflict emotional pain on ourselves by telling ourselves we're so bad. No. Everything's fine. Just step back into your value system. Your job right now is to get clear on your value system. What are your values? And then start making choices and decisions from that value. All right? All right, you guys, have a fantastic day. If you want to work with me, you can go to my website, terryhuberman.com. I do one-on-one work, and I'm thinking of doing a group coaching based on the book. It'll be an accelerator course, so we'll see how that works, and the book will be the guide. So you can pay me to do it, or you could do it on your own by just getting a book, $9.99, or you can get one directly from me for $14.99. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing like a group coaching. Oh, thank you, Eureka. She's saying my book is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Go out, get the book. Go out, find your values, and live your life through your values. Okay, everybody? I will see you soon. Bye.